Hello, hello, hello.
What's up?
Yeah. All right. Welcome to Perspective. Look here. We um, we here, and the premise of our platform here on this Thursday night is right in our name, the perspective. You may see there's a little difference on our background and kind of the picture and what it looks like, but that's quite all right. We're going to give a little bit of explanation on that. And we just have some exciting new changes coming up. So we look forward to that. And we'll talk about that a little more when it happens. But as we do every beginning of every show, we just kind of like to talk about what we're here for. The name of our show is Perspective, and the premise of our platform is right there in the name. This is about different perspectives, different opinions, points of views, different lived experiences, different experiences, and we're here for that. So we want it to be a safe place for people to have open discussion about a myriad of different topics without feeling offended or like you're going to be disrespected on your position. The thing that we always want people to keep in mind and to always walk away with understanding is that just because your opinion may counter with someone else's or they may not align, it doesn't mean that someone is right or someone is wrong, someone is good or bad. It just simply means that they're different. And it's getting an understanding of our differences that actually brings us together. So as we do that, we'll kind of go into our introductions. I'm going to go first, and my co-host is going to go last because they have a little bit of an announcement to make. My name is The Intellect. If you know me, you know me, aka Cullinan 8. Also, they call me the Atlantic because I'm cold, deep, and choppy. Have a background in talent acquisition and HR for over the last 17 years. I'm a kind of I don't want to say a philanthropist because I don't have the bread to really just do it like that, but I am a man of the community. I've been a mentor. I sit on the advisory board of a financial literacy nonprofit, and I like to be out in the community. I want to see people not just survive, but to thrive. So I do that in many different ways. So I have some few, like I talked about before, I have some pretty significant lived experiences. I think the Most High has prepared me to be kind of not a jack of all trades, but someone who can touch and talk about things in a very intimate way, a direct and a poignant way. And so I come to this platform to share those things. And so with that, I'll just pass it over to my co-host.
Hi, so I am Latoya, aka Doc, aka Latoya the therapist, aka Chef Jeff wife. I just wanted to say all those AKAs because you had them. But no, on another note, so I'm an LPC, I'm a licensed professional counselor, I'm an author, a speaker, and apparently I'm a conference host now. I had a conference. It was amazing. If you missed it, you missed it. But check my Instagram out, Latoya the therapist, for the recap. It's pinned to my page. So you see that something is different. Our wonderful ex co-host Keisha decided that she wanted to pursue some other things, and we absolutely support her in that, and we wish her all the best in her future endeavors. And so for tonight, we're going to be talking about what, Eric?
Man, here's the question. Can married people have friends of the opposite sex? Can married people have friends of the opposite sex? So
Oof.
that's the
It's so spicy. Okay, so let me give a blanket statement. For the blanket statement, that is whatever works in your marriage, do what works in your marriage. If y'all got friends and homegirls and sisters and play cousins and it's working for y'all, it is working for y'all. But for the purposes of this show, I'm going to share my perspective. I feel like they
okay.
can. I feel like yes, but it's layers, it's rules, it's nuance. It's not a
That's
blanket yes. What you think?
well, I mean, some people are gonna say either yes or no. It is, but it is layered, and much like much things in life, it's there are some things that are, I would think, just fundamentally black or white, to use colors, or positive or negative,
Mhm.
in a sense. But this one is much more gray, and I think it's when we're talking about marriages and that lifetime commitment and how fragile it can be, because that's proven by numbers and statistics. I think you have to dig a little bit deeper. So
Mhm.
um,
So let me say this.
I'm going to say
My
yes.
opinion on that has changed.
I'm going to say yes. You
Okay.
can, but we're going to dig into the caveats on that.
So I think my opinion has changed because when we first, because I'm married, right? So when we first got married, I was like, well, whoever you brought to the friendship, I mean, to the relationship, if you brought them with you, cool. I'm not going to be like, oh, we're married now, cut everybody off. But I would say back then, my rule was like, no new friends. But now that I'm at this age in this season, I'm kind of okay with new friends too. They just got to be both of our friends. They can't just be your friend by yourself. Like I got to know her, she got to know me. Cause why she just your friend? Why she don't want to be my friend too? I'm wonderful. Why she don't want to be my friend? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, that's going to always
Yeah.
cause some issue in that regard. Now, I think but here's the thing about keeping, friends from the past coming in. Like it's almost like you got to come in and understand, because this is my thing. If they're a real friend, this is my caveat. This is how you can keep that friend. If that friend lets you go and say, "Hey, man, we can't hang." If my significant other, she has a friend that's a guy, he should lead the charge and say, "Hey, man, we can't. I can't call you at certain times. I can't pop up like I used to. We can't hang out in this fashion anymore. Like I wouldn't. Like I can't do that. If he demonstrates that over a significant period of time, I would never let it be known. But I'd be like, okay, that dude is being a friend because he's severing the ties.
Right, right,
I
right.
think a real friend would understand, hey, I got my role and my position is changing. This
Mm,
is someone's significant other, and I would do nothing to sabotage that or to create any type of doubt or negativity within it.
yeah. So I agree with that because my best friend in college was a guy. He actually was in our wedding. But we had a rule. Like when one of us were in a relationship, we just would fall back. Like, I don't like you like that. I can't give you what this person's giving you. We ain't never finna be together. So with that being said, call me when you
Yeah.
call me.
Yeah. Call me when you call me. It could be, yeah.
And it was that was just like our understanding. Like we just had a rule, and I guess that's why our significant others never had an issue because I'm happy to fall back. Like I want you to be in love. I want you to be happy. I'm not getting in the way of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would agree with that. So we're now we kind of jumped into it and talked about friends. Uh, So how are we defining friendship?
How are we defining friendship? Like, are we hanging out? Are we going to brunch? Are we just talking on the phone? Are we borrowing money? What's a friend? Because I think everybody's definition is different.
I think a friend is all of those things. The way I define friendship is like you're not my friend until you have, because this is the way I define it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really a friend until it's cost you something. Like it
Mm-hmm.
cost you something of significance. You're not a friend unless it's cost you time, it cost you money, or cost you energy in
No, I
some sense.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll come get you, but can you come get me when it's inconvenient?
right.
Can you help me out when it's gonna sting you too?
Yeah.
Those type of things, and they've done it consistently, and it's been reciprocated. No one, can't go one way on that one on friendships, but those things kind of define that. But if it's your hangout buddy, and I think in this sense, when it comes to a friend that's within a relation, like a friend, and now you're in a marriage, and that friend is either somebody you have those, you confide in. They know all your deepest secrets, and then your husband or your wife don't even know these things about you.
And so for me, that's when it becomes a problem because now they're more than your friend. Like now we talking about an emotional affair.
A
Like if we're
confidant.
yeah, like if we're married, but every time something happened, you call
Call
Rita.
him. Hmm.
Me and
But
Riri
then,
can have a conversation. What's up, Riri? What we got going on?
yeah, that's the difficulty of it because they are that sanctuary. They're someone who, because normally that those people they have seen you at your worst. They've
Mm-hmm.
seen you embarrassed and make mistakes, and yet they've still treated you with a certain level of respect and dignity,
Right.
or even helped you reclaim the things that you felt like you lost. that may have been there during a very traumatic time, so you didn't trauma bond it, and so you haven't even given yourself an opportunity to even have those type of bonds generated with your significant other. In some instances, with your husband or your wife, in some instances. So it is complicated. It's not a simple "you mine now, they gotta go."
I think it's an easing out period, right? So my mama always says this thing. She says, like, when your hand is in the lion's mouth, you don't snatch your hand out because they're gonna clamp down. You ease your hand out. And so I think in this situation, if I've been, we'll just say you and I, right? Like, because we didn't know each other before the show, so it's fine. So let's say we was best friends and we had years in the game, and you done seen me with this guy, that guy, seen me get my heart broken, and boom, now I meet the one. I'm not going to instantly let go of you because you've been a safe place. But I think as I learn to love this person more, and obviously before we get married, I got to like ease out of that. You can't continue to be my safe space if I'm about to do this with somebody else. And so I do think it is a little bit more cut and dry, only because once we made a decision to get married, I should be your confidant. Your partner should be your confidant. We can't just keep running to the friend because that's all we've ever done. Because if that's the case, y'all need to be together. You get what I mean?
If that's the case, then that means y'all need to be together. That's something to explore because, but the person that may be your friend, you're not always physically attracted to them.
Right. But if you can't ease out and start giving me that intimacy that you're giving them, and by intimacy, obviously, I mean the conversation, the access to the secrets, the access to the emotions. If you can't start sharing that with me and you keep going to them, what I'm doing? What are we doing?
I mean, he may be, stirring that sugar box real good, and that's the one element that was missing from the friend or something,
Then teach her how to stir the sugar box.
Yeah, I'd explain that some other time. Yeah, only ladies have sugar boxes.
No, I get that, but teach her what to do with her sugar box.
Teach her what to do with this. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. From a man's side, like maybe you good for this, but that she understands me and kind of relates where I'm coming from. We from the same hometown. She understands my jokes. So, but yeah, because that's difficult because in getting. Then that goes into a whole conversation about the things that really matter in marriage. You know what I mean? Because people kind of work good in kind of a business arrangement,
right?
But it's other individuals outside of their space, and we're talking about the opposite sex because I don't think it'll be that because it could be. We say opposite sex, but maybe we're talking about inappropriate friendships altogether. Because some women are so closely tied to their girlfriend that it can be damaging to a marriage, or some men are so tied to their homeboy that can be damaging to a marriage too. And so
yeah, I've seen that happen too. And so I think for me, it boils down to when I wake up in the morning, who I want to be next to. If I want to be next to Jeff, we'll just say Jeff. If I want to be next to Jeff, I have to make sure he feels secure and like he's number one. And so whatever my relationship is with my homegirl, my homeboy, my best friend, my whatever, all of those relationships now have to get recategorized and everybody got to be put in check. Because when I wake up, I want to see Jeff. So I need to make sure Jeff is happy. Whatever that looks like. Within reason.
Because
somebody gonna always be like,
why can't it be making blanket statement?
No, because somebody gonna always be like,
yeah.
Jeff, once you jump off a bridge, you gonna jump. Well, I
might. Right. I got you. No, understood. But what's understood don't need to be explained. Is what I'm saying. So I'm saying, put your stamp down and let it rest. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
stood on it. Yeah, I don't expect
because here's the thing. The girl that was my maid of honor, love her, like ride or die, like love her. And I was so scared that our relationship was going to change when I got married, and guess what? It did. But it had to. But just because it changed doesn't mean it's foreign. Doesn't mean I love her any less. doesn't mean it's just different. And I think sometimes people get scared of the different. We change when things are unknown, we get fearful. And so we
So
like,
when you say it did change, did it change for the
yeah,
worse?
no, it's just different.
Well, of course, because time and focus, like you
Space.
just like just what you just said, like what you may have caused, where you may have run to someone at a certain time, like you can stay over their house anytime, or you could do this. None of that access. The access is not there. So yeah, I mean, it would change, but I mean, if they're not, I think when you say it changed, it maybe gave me a feeling of it changed for the worse, but it
No,
didn't.
it just matured. It just looks different.
It just shifted. I think, but
Yeah.
that's a
But a
friendship.
shift is a change.
You're right, right, right. But I think you still have the friend. Y'all still would be friends, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then I think that's a that's the most important thing. If you can maintain the friendship through the shift. Matter of
Mhm.
fact, I even think it makes it a stronger relationship.
Yeah, like that's my homegirl. We ride or die, but
So it can survive some
it's
things.
different.
Now we talked about like so we think yes you can, but with all of these layers. So what is the fear if in friends of the what is the fear about having friends of the opposite sex?
Oh, I
Like,
think the fear is that
you
first of
want to
all, it's
open up?
unknown, right? Like it's unknown. And so you like, is that really your friend? Are y'all making googly eyes?
Okay.
Like, is there like an emotional affair? Like, did you used to hit? Do you want to hit? Like, I think it's the fear of the unknown.
Now you hit them. I think you hit them all right there in one swing, one fell swoop like that. Like, what are their real intentions?
Right.
Um, yeah, because the thought is, well, if you were there before me, then what you had access, why didn't it go down? So
Mm-hmm.
I think I would believe that if there was a friend of the opposite sex that was brought up even during the dating phase, those type of questions would have been asked even before marriage ever occurred.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're still around, so maybe we need to kind of look at it, because we did talk about like how long they've been there. I think it's more of a respect to the marriage, if they've been there before the marriage. But what about these things that occur, people running to folks outside, after you've gotten married, this new person, oh, y'all kicked it, y'all, I ran into this so wrong, a new chapter. I had never met her. And then y'all get real close. And something like, oh, look, yeah, I put pressure on you. I went to that because it's supposed to be sisterhood and brotherhood, and that's supposed to be
And why
serious.
you why you do all
Well,
that?
I'm just, hey, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in that sense, so where you said the fear is the unknown. So how do we? So this is the key. So how are we addressing the unknown? Because you laid it out. So how would you address that?
I think you have to ask. I'm a
Mm,
direct type of person. I'm gonna
directly,
ask when,
directly into an argument.
and we don't have to argue about it. Like I just want to know, and I'm gonna read your body language. I'm gonna read your body language. I'm gonna look at the eye contact. I'm gonna look at you shifting. Like I'm paying attention to all that, and I'm gonna ask very casually. So Susan, how you know her?
That ain't casual. That had a little spike on it when it came out. You talking about I'm gonna read body language? We read body language too, and your body language like, who
My
is
body language is like, what's up?
who her? Who this woman?
Papa, who this woman? But that's essentially what I'm saying. Like, so homegirl, how you know her?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell on myself a little later in this because I learned a very, very big lesson about this circumstance and this question. But nevertheless, um, now where have you? I ain't even gonna say have you. Say where have you seen this go poorly?
Child in life, in session, just
I knew this
people
gonna be
because
me.
people lie. And it's so crazy to me how, and I'm only speaking from the experience that I saw in my office. I'm not speaking for everybody. We are all different. But it's so crazy to me how women be so ready to just accept this poorly crafted lie. Like he didn't even try. Like
Wait, what you mean? Wait, because this seems like
okay,
it's
so
been off the
okay,
rails. What you
let
mean?
me
Poorly
set the
crafted
scene.
lie.
Okay, let me set the scene. So we in session, and I'm like, blah blah blah, whoop whoop whoop. So she was like, yeah, and then his homegirl, he said she got a problem with my homegirl, and I said, well, tell me about the problem with the homegirl, and she was like, well, yeah, she's just a little overly friendly. She just, it's just a little too much. And he was like, well, that's just a part of her culture. So I said, I'm sorry, I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know her. Tell me more about her culture. She was black, regular black, African American. And sis was like, yeah, and her family, they're just really like overly friendly. And so now I got to be a professional and I got to be like,
but no, you're supposed to, because listen, so is there, I don't, overly friendly? So
so 6 sessions later,
okay.
turns out she goes through his phone. That's his girlfriend. And I'm looking at her like, you didn't catch that with the culture comment?
I didn't get that with the code. I didn't just slam dunk say, oh, he messing with her based on that. Now I'd have been like, he could be naive. He could have not have seen something. But I'm already saying a woman being overly affectionate
In my
to,
face?
yes, it's just even if you that's not what you're intending to do, you're out of line. Period. It's out of line. And then if he's allowing it, I don't know. Some people don't like confrontation. They want to try to brush things off and just let it be. But in his case, he was sugar box staring.
Yeah, it was his whole girlfriend. And I could tell because of his body language. When homegirl came up, he got all shifty. That body language be telling no people. That's why I be wanting to know. So, Susie, how you know her?
So what body language won't get? I don't know. I think people gonna make the body language say what they want the body language to say.
Could be because somebody could
Unless
have
you
to
have
do.
unless you're studied in body language.
I don't study body language. I just sit with enough people to recognize shifty.
I got you, and I would definitely back you up on that. I would think you've definitely had to. I mean, you have definitely put in the hours where you could tell if someone was lying or not. I definitely would give you kudos and thumbs up on that. I don't know, women, y'all be so biased.
We do be biased, but 95% of the time we be right.
No, them numbers are off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am a fan of Latoya, the therapist. I'm a proud supporter. But I'm gonna tell you those numbers. Yeah, I would challenge those.
So you mean it was 100% right? You're right. I did say 95. It was supposed to be 100.
Thank you for proving my point right there, just in that comment. See, you know what I'm saying? We be trying to stay logical and keep things in a true realm, but this is what be happening. No, but
okay, hold on. Before we move forward, I can't see any comments. So if people
really,
are commenting,
that's what's been going on.
I'm gonna need you to. Yeah, I can't see them. You gonna read it, or we just gonna let the people read?
Can you see it? What up? Milestone achieved. You can support #King iKingDoc, the Queen 3 and King podcast, and BS3 Network by sending stars. They help us to increase the revenue that allows us to support local charities, provide opportunities to new podcasters, and to continue to deliver the content you love. Just $1 helps. I sincerely appreciate the support. Whenever you see the stars icon, you can send me stars. Stars everywhere. All right. Appreciate that, dog. And congratulations on on the advancements and the growth of the network. It is definitely you want how you want to get on the things early. Yeah, this is the time. So definitely do that. Theodora, hello. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. Back at you. And Mr. My brother right there, Mr. J. Gilliam. He say, cold, deep, and choppy, Big E, let me hold something. No, I did make the disclaimer that I was not giving out bread like that. That was, I misspoke. So forgive me. I take that. But I try to find $1 or two if I can. Mr. Ben Sutter, the third. Good evening to you, sir. Ben puts the
Hi,
B
Ben.
BS3 network.
The B and the S, huh?
Yeah.
And the 3.
Read about it. Read about it. We appreciate all your support and everything that you've done. They're definitely an impressive. So congratulations to you.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So now you I'm gonna get out for the biases.
We be 100% out here. No.
We'll get back into these opposite sex. Because now here's the thing. I think once you get married, and I want to know what your concept of this. I think really the friendships that you're gonna have, like if they're your friend, they have to be our friend.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. Especially of the opposite sex, right? Like, I feel like if we want to stay married and we want to stay above board, let's just be friends with everybody. Let's just why we gotta have personalized friends, especially new people.
Yeah. Especially if they're new, they have to be our friends.
So if we got married Monday and we met them Tuesday, they our friend.
Well, but they might not make the cut because they might be real cool with you, might not like me, and then it's just, you know what I'm saying? And so she gonna be like, "What about him?" I'm like, "What about him?" You know what I'm saying? I don't like them, and I'm gonna be honest. My gut and my intuition is very good in that sense, very good.
Spot on.
Man, better than I wanted it to be. I want that to be. I don't let that be, and then it will be. So hopefully those that can understand what I just said, they can read between the lines. Because I'm just like, man. Now I've been clear and I've been like, listen, that is not platonic. No, they're just, they was dying. And then later on, they be like, look what they said. I was like, because I tried to tell you. Why are you not listening?
That's a big thing.
Like I'm a man and I'm telling you,
That's
the vibes, the energy is not right. So because I've learned on both ends. I've had my significant other say, "You ain't see how they was talking." I was like, I have no idea. I hate to admit this, but I'll put it out there. Because I don't be looking. I ain't trying to pay attention. And apparently, I be getting shots shot at me, and I just be like, no, I really thought they wanted to know which was the best detergent to use on their dish. I walk out the store, and my bird, she ain't on today. She got a client, but she say, and I remember we was walking. She just looked, Dad, really? I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? That lady was trying to talk to you. She wanted you to get a number or something. I'm like, no, she didn't. She gonna ask you what's the best Dawn or Ajax, which is the best dishwashing liquid, and this is a true story. I'm not making any of it up.
And so how did you not see that?
I don't know. I think it was just a blessing and the favor of the Most High.
Okay.
Because he will harden your heart and he will blind your eyes so you can't see certain things.
That's
and he
true.
just kept me safe in those ways. You know what I mean? Because I don't like to be mean. I let them make them feel like they can win just until I can get away from the area and be like, ooh, that was close. Because I don't want to hurt nobody. No, I've done wrong by that. Instead of just being straight up like, listen, no, man, I'm not.
You could just say no, thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't good at none of that, man. I had them send me a drink and I just You know, like that Bart Simpson moving to the bushes. I don't go and say, "Hey, man, thank you for the drink," but unfortunately, I won't be able to have it with you. I have a significant other. Definitely want to be respectful of my relationship. See, now I can do that now, but back then I leave the drink on the
I
table.
believe that.
Leave the drink on the table. Just walk away. Man, I leave the club. Wasn't even ready to go.
Really?
Man. Because I just didn't want no trouble. I wanted no trouble. I did a lot to protect the sanctity of my home in that way. So I definitely wasn't, but I did learn a lesson. I have co-workers. So that's kind of going to lead into to the next question of that. So is work husband, work wife the same thing?
My work husband died, so I've never had another one, won't ever have another one. I don't know. And I had him before I had my real husband. So I'm biased.
I know Mr. J. Gill is going to have a word or two, because I would definitely love to know how he feels about that. Because I'm going to tell you, I ain't your husband, and I didn't like the fact that he even got to be mentioned. Like what?
Well, because
I'm biased. That's my
because I didn't even know what work husband was until I started working at this particular place.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I ain't gonna try to make something out of nothing.
And somebody told me, they was like, "Yeah, because that's your work husband," and I was like, "No, he's married." And they were like, "He's your work husband." Like I did not. I was clueless.
Only women come up with something like that. Do you see? You see?
Hey, I can see it now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, baby.
That's my bird.
Is that rude?
That's
we'll just
bird.
say, "Hey, Miss Alexis." We'll just say that.
She say,
"You don't believe in work spouses?" I work from home. See, Gerald was a phenomenal. He was like, that's my homie. He died.
Now the fact that the reason I was just kind of stirring the pot a little bit, but the key element is, I think that can be fine, long as those lines are not crossed. I don't know if I've ever been a work husband, but there's individuals.
You have.
Yeah. But I was like, I practiced poly in the workplace. I was multiple.
Oh, you was work thoughting.
Listen, we're going to write something up on that, because that's a thing.
You was work thoughting. Can we please talk about that?
Man, hold on. That's too much. Oh, I would never. No. Yeah. I think about it, but that's because I'm going to be polite and respectful, and I worked in different sections, different individuals, so I would have lunch with different folks. You know what I'm saying? It was folks I go check on. Hey, everything good?
Oh,
everything good?
You was going to check?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you worked that.
Yeah, okay. It got bad. It was got like their supervisor contacted my supervisor and say, "Tell your employee don't come over to my employee's cubicle anymore."
Oh, it was deep.
And wasn't nothing. Well, I ain't gonna go into that. It wasn't me though, is what I'm saying.
So it was something to her though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, she liked the butler.
See, because women, we just be, not me, but women be like creating these narratives in their mind. And all you went over there and did was say hello. And in her mind,
I truly had a work business reason. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it might sound bad, but they were smart. They kind of understood the behind the scenes. There was a portion of the work that done, like when I did some work, they dealt with that portion. So I was learning from them. I was like, okay, once this happens and I do this, how is this affecting your end of the work? And they were able to break it down and help me understand it, which just made me better at my job, right? So I appreciate it, and I was cool. So we would, I would be learning.
But was you trying to be her boyfriend?
I couldn't.
So, but it was several people you was going having these conversations with.
Well, they all were very. Well, I'm just saying, I've worked in environments where there are very sharp and intelligent people, and I like intelligence. Especially if I can learn something from you. And I would go learn, and I was humble
But
enough to say, "Hey, you're
teach
good at what
me.
you do. How
You was like,
what it
teach
is you
me
do."
how to love.
Teach me that Excel.
I know. You was like, what's that formula?
How you program in that there. You know what I'm talking
That is
about?
hilarious. You was out here worked
What you
out and had
talking
them people.
about? I'm Janelle, for real, for real.
You had them people going crazy.
Nah, it's
Okay, hold on,
come
hold on.
on,
Let's
Nate.
catch up. Let's catch up.
Oh
Let's
yeah, yeah.
catch
Let's
up.
do
Because
that.
I can
Let's
see it now.
talk to our viewers.
She's laughing at me because she said wrong. That just means I work at the
Well,
house.
yeah,
My
your
real
husband is your work husband, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
my real husband is my work husband.
Well,
It's my
absolutely. That safe bet. She say work
work.
out. Mr. J. Gillian said, I had to have a strong, I had and have a strong work friend, but everybody thought we were having an affair. We were, in fact, not until this day. I call her to come and help me with gigs.
She actually made the food at my conference. It was delicious.
And the most important thing, though, is you're familiar with her, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we have met her husband.
Look at my daughter shaking. Now, I know why she's shaking her head, because y'all
Why
don't.
she
Y'all don't
shaking her
know.
head? Tell me more. Why she shaking her
Well, no, she'll type it in there. What's the next one?
head?
She said, I can't relate. I've never had such thing. Okay. She said, I think Mika Baldwin says, I think Eric is leaving something out. He was starting.
I'm gonna have to agree because you out here dipping and dopping at everybody's cubicle.
But man, but I wasn't going home with nobody.
That's okay. You was their work
That's
husband.
and it was always platonic. I mean, every now and again I'd buy the lunch because ain't nobody finna use me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't like men at work. Use me up.
So okay, let me ask you some work husband questions. Y'all used to eat lunch together?
Not on a regular basis. I made sure it wasn't back. You know why? Because especially from what Jeff mentioned about people thinking you having an affair, and I was in a position at a level. I was a VP, so I was definitely not going to let that get too far out of line and be mistaken. Okay, I'm gonna read this one. Alexis Butler said, "I'm shaking my head at my dad. Out here different.
I love when she is in the comments.
I was not dipping and dapping.
You was dipping and dapping.
I was just
cubicles.
I had to walk and get over to the cubicle, but I checked on my my male counterparts too. I checked on them. My partner Dave, eventually became my supervisor, Christian. I just check on him. Even my supervisor. I would go check on him. I just dip in there.
Okay, come on. Back. So can you have a work husband and a work wife when you married? Can you do that?
As long as your real husband and your real wife don't know.
Don't see. Back to my original statement. I work from home.
Now that's just my opinion.
Okay, so if you got married, your real wife can't have a work husband.
How do you say? How do they say it? Hell no.
Okay, can we define what's a work husband?
I don't know what the hell the definition of it is, but whatever the definition of it is,
your wife can't have that.
My wife can't have one. Nothing that you say husband in it. If I'm the husband, that's only room for one.
Right,
I want your attention, your time, because the most sacred thing from a wife is that attention, that time, that care. And I don't want you can't give that to him. If he's frustrated, something upsetting with him, no, this the only bald head you're gonna be rubbing on. You understand? This is what's gonna be soothing. Bring all your salve, bring all that home to me.
I don't know that work husband and wives are touching.
Well,
that seems
all them sweet,
all them
encouraging words and uplifting words, all that belong in this here right here and this one over here. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because there wasn't no touching or nothing going on. So
yeah, but you was definitely work thought. All right, come on, comments.
I was not work thoughty. Because I gave contributions too, because they wanted to know well on your end what, and so it was mutual.
It was mutually beneficial.
It was like seriously, and I work in a woman dominated industry, and so it was just kind of a natural thing. But I never took it, took it out of bounds. I mean, okay, maybe.
Okay, so
This
is
was
it
back in the
cheating?
day. No, I'm saying, go ahead.
Is work husband and work wife, is that cheating?
I'm asking the group. They not going to put that on me. But let me read this. Alexis Butler says, literally, he probably had a collection. Who knows? See, you telling a little bit on me, because see, I'm gonna tell y'all, my daughter is dear to
She
my
know
heart.
the real.
She do. She really, really does. Me
She
and
know
my
you
daughter
was
are very,
dipping
very
and
close.
diving at them cubicles. Okay, come
But
on.
my daughter's been with me. She know. See, here's the truth. That she told the truth. I don't be trying to do that, and I really be missing the mark. I be missing the attention. My daughter would tell you, I don't be looking for it or hunting for it. It come to me. I don't.
I honestly think it's your tone of voice. You
Yeah,
got
my
like a
voice.
very white thing going on.
Yeah, I get.
And I
Man,
think you
you
was
have
at the
no idea.
grocery store, and I think the lady was like, "Do you like Dawn Power Spray or Dawn Regular?" And you was like, "Yeah, like Dawn Power Spray." And she thought she had heard some flirting in your voice. I really think that it is. I think I cracked the code.
I've been accused of being flirtatious.
It's the tone of your voice.
And I was just like, man, I was just trying to get some damn information about this damn report. And here they come. Man, I don't know what that was about.
Okay, read the comments.
Mr. J. Giddy said, I can have no work wife. The doc will cut me.
I'm glad
You know,
everybody is.
man, she gonna have you, she gonna clink that coffee, and then next thing you know, you're in a sunken place, man. You better be careful out there. Alexis says, as she should. We could. Oh, we couldn't hear you, Pop. She said, "I'm screaming." Mika Baldwin says, "No work husband. Call me at work if you get lonely or bored." Hell, I don't think it's cheating, but my worry is, what if someone gets real feelings?
Yes, and I think that's the problem with saying, "Oh, this my work wife. Oh, this my work husband." You know what I mean? Like, I think when you start to put that label on it, then y'all start acting out, and then you like, "Oh, this is just my." Yeah, I don't like all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think no, I'm not. My opinion is Mika said I left something out. I think she leaving something out because she spoke about that.
She would
Yeah,
never.
see, there you go with that bias again. So soon as it comes up, we try to explore here. So like, no, Mika.
Why? Whatever do you mean?
No, because I'm just saying I spent a small stint within education, and whoa, nearly is what I'm going to
Them
say.
teachers.
Man.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of them teachers.
Now I'm
be
talking about
coaches.
I've been way too close. Like I've been hurt. I've been hurt in that regard. Like teachers that were like, mentors and very close and confidants. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going? You know what I'm saying? It's bad. No, Mika, don't try to do it. Alexis says he tried to whisper that. So I never crossed bounds, but maybe once or twice. So yeah. She say it with your chest, Pops.
Okay.
Yeah, I never really crossed the line, but
I got you, Mika. Don't worry.
Mika say, I'm not going to confirm or deny. Exactly.
Okay.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed. And I love her honesty. Because she could have left it alone, but she didn't.
She came back.
Yeah, now she had to tell the truth. She didn't see it. I ain't gonna necessarily say Mika was involved because she is, near perfect and above reproach. She would never.
There you go.
But some people around her may be, what I'm saying. And she probably went and told him, hey, that's not professional. It's not conducive to the educational environment. And I think that y'all should cease and desist immediately. That's what I imagine Mika's involvement in that process, in that situation is. So I'm gonna say this: is it cheating? So is it cheating, Doc? Because I
You
mean,
said I'm gonna say this. You didn't
yeah,
say you
I'm
gonna
gonna say
ask.
this: is it cheating, Doc? Because I've heard that emotional commitments, that's cheating. That's considered cheating. So if you have a work husband or work wife, then if you're considering them that, they get preferential, hey, that's who I have lunch with. You're kind of stepping into those bounds, right?
Mm,
So with that kind of, and then why play on slippery slopes when you don't want to fall? Because that's a
mm.
slippery slope. Now I'm gonna tell you this: if you because you're gonna have problems at home, a husband and a wife gonna argue. They're gonna
Yeah.
disagree. They're gonna disappoint one another. If you confide in that person even one single time about what your significant other at home has done, you're out of line. Matter of fact, you might as well should have just gave him some. That's even worse to me.
Wait a
I
minute.
said it.
Hold
Yes.
on. I was rocking, like I was with you. I was like, okay, making sense, making whoa. You just kind of took all kind of leaps and bounds. So
No,
let me make sure I understand. Hold
I
on, let
felt
me make
like
sure I
that was
understand.
just the next step in front.
Okay, hold on. So you saying
No, I'm
you
reading the
saying
comment. The
okay,
comment.
yeah, read the comment. Let me get myself together.
Alexa said, "No eye contact equal deception." She
She's
said,
saying
"It
it.
is. It is." She's like, "Out of line."
Oh, okay. So you saying if you having trouble in your marriage, you got mad at your spouse, you went to work, confided in your work partner, you might as well gave them some.
Same thing. Same,
Sheesh.
same, same,
Same
same.
thing.
I think it's more intimate than physical contact,
Okay, I might be there with you,
and it's
but
more dangerous.
yes, it is more dangerous. It is
it
dangerous.
ties people together. Because folk can, if you already, if you didn't lost bonding, your bonding senses, at a certain age, people be losing that anyway. You know what I'm talking about? Especially these ladies out here, because they be out there. But I'm just saying, there's people can. I think there's individuals that can just have sex and not have any ties together. But when you emotionally tie to a person, that's stronger than that, because people can do that and then walk away from each other and act like it never happened, never really bonded or no connection, never change your feelings or your commitment to someone else you're committed to. That is a
Right.
fact that can happen. But when your emotions get involved and you're willing to talk bad about this person to that person, you're now, it's almost like you taking and
Teeter
giving.
tottering.
Yes, you giving over.
So
Okay,
what if you not talking bad? What if you just like, let me tell you what happened?
don't do it. I'm
He
saying it
said the
flat out.
same
Ain't no wish
thing.
washing. Now don't vent about me to no other dude. Period.
What about to my
Matter of fact, don't
homegirl?
even vent to me to no damn pastor. You hear me? You better vent to the pastor's wife.
It got real. It just got real serious.
I said it.
Okay. Yeah, you did with your whole chest, like boom. I I do agree that the venting is dangerous. I do agree that the emotional connection is more dangerous. I agree with all that. But I don't know that I agree with you might as well should have gave him some. Like,
Well, I'm
no.
just I'm
We
putting
can come because we can come back from that conversation. We can talk about it. I can redirect you. I can tell you, hey, I'm uncomfortable with you sharing this information. We can work that out. You give them some. We can't. I don't know that we could work that out.
Nah, I get it. No, and so I'll back off of that. I'm not saying no, it's standard. I did that for the shock value to show the
Right,
point that
right, right.
it's serious. You might, if you're going to do that, you might as well do everything, because most people are more concerned about the physical violation, right?
Mhm,
But I'm
mhm.
saying the emotional violation is what the real key is here. I'm
And
saying it's
and listen, don't have no emotional affair because we got to break up because of that too. You ain't gonna be laying next to me with thinking about what you and Keisha were talking about, you and Susie, you and Sarah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I'm guilty because I was, if I didn't have a physical attraction to the lady, but they, the sapiosexual, I guess, somebody who likes intelligence or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I appreciate, especially, because I want to be proud of Black women.
Right,
I'm
right,
the
right.
creator of two Black women, so I have a premise. So there's young, Black talented ladies that work. I'm in a female dominated industry, so if I can help them boost their career, give them advice, motivate them, I'll do that. And if they're impressive, I'll brag on them and let them know, right? But I've done that, and the earshot of my significant other brought their
Yeah.
name up one too many damn times.
Yeah, because why you keep talking about her? Like, what y'all got
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on?
And I was just
Yeah.
and I promise I was talking about business, about a project, about work related items, but their name was tied to it too much.
Too many times.
And I was just like, man, they did it, like, the hell.
Yeah,
And
because
so
don't
I didn't
nobody
know
else work there.
listen
Don't
to
nobody else
yeah,
do no
then
project.
later. No, but I still argue with it because I had a mentor, this woman, probably in her early to mid 60s. She's my supervisor, and I appreciate her. She really, really helped me in my career as it grew, right? So, but now down the line, argument at home, well, you need to find somebody like, and blurted out her name. And I was like, what? I was so thrown off by it. I said, huh? You talk about the old my supervisor who lives in another state. I probably seen that person 3 or 4 times physically,
Right.
throughout the whole period of time I was at the company. You know what I mean? For years. So I was like, oh, okay. Lesson learned on my end. Bad Eric. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because don't nobody else got a name over there where y'all work at? Come on, comment.
So Mika Baldwin says emotional ties are far more dangerous than physical ties. Hold on. Emotional ties are far more dangerous than physical ties. Emotional connections are harder to break.
Okay.
Well, I mean, she had the exclamation mark on. I want to give her justice on her on her statement. Alexa says, "Vent to God,
Come
man.
on.
Speak, young genius." I made that. I just want y'all to know. So Alexa said, she said all the names like DMX.
I was so serious because what we not finna do.
Mika says, "Oh, we breaking up behind an emotional affair for sure." She said, "I agree, Doc."
Yeah, because your feelings are, you got feelings at her house. You need to go to her house.
I know, Mr. J. Gillian. Just say, "What up, family? What's up, Justin?"
Hi.
That's Mr. Caraway right there.
Hello.
Yes, yes. So,
Yeah, okay, because that emotional affair, that's something. You might as well gave him some. Whoa.
well, no. So
That was my favorite part of the show. I just want to let you know.
we
That
just
did it for me.
established that an emotional tie is, hey, if we're willing to go there, we're willing to go there.
Might as well should gave him some.
Man, you might as hey man, if you're gonna go in, go all in.
You might as
Go
well
all
say,
in.
shoot that thing up. Okay.
We done got tired because I was not expecting that from my clinical and analytic.
Ooh, okay. That was good.
No, that was good.
That
That
was
was
my
good.
favorite part of the show.
No,
That's what I gave him.
so we kind of discussed. We definitely got some feedback from our viewers, and man, I just wanted to give a shout out, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all kept it lively and crunk up in here. So when it comes to opposite sex, I know we started off saying yes. That's having friends that are opposite sex. We were like yes, so we've discussed it a little bit. So what do we think about that now?
Yes, with nuance. They got to be our friends. They can't just be your friend. And then let's define friendship more, because are we talking on the phone? Are we going out to eat? Are we exchanging money? Like what's all that's on a case by case basis. You know what I mean? Like when you met this person, what were their motives? Because I think it's different if you meet someone and they trying to be with you, but you like friends on them, and now y'all are really good friends. Because that person's just waiting on their chance.
Say it.
So yeah.
But I'm just telling you, most men want to.
They want to smash.
I don't want to tell it, but that's the truth. I mean, we see it all the time. Well, I don't know. I got some people that call me and I'll be like, excuse me? I would be really confused and actually be upset that they even address me that way. But I think that's because our friendship and our relationship has been established properly from the beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And don't bring your feelings in this now. Like we are friends. Don't
ever.
Like I would be pissed off.
Yeah.
Why did you jeopardize our friendship with this?
Yeah, but I don't think I would anybody that I consider that like opposite sex that I think is a friend of mine. They would no, they like I know their husbands or their boyfriends. If they're single, like yeah, I hadn't thought about it. You know, I might have them in the friend zone per se, but but to be quite honest, if they fine, I mean, they may make a transition. You know, I don't know, but I'm just keeping it. I'm just keeping it. You know, keeping it 100.
See, that's the problem. Everybody want to transition. No, if we.
Well, I mean, I'm not intending to. I'm saying if it was broach, I would be like, oh, really? But not if they got somebody. I don't even allow that to come into mind. You know what I mean? Because I don't look at them that way.
Right.
And you know, first impressions are the most imprintable impressions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then also I have the advantage of having worked in a woman dominated industry. So I've had to work with women and be around women and understand how to draw those lines and
how to navigate.
Yeah, and just be cool. But and then also I came up in a time, you know, that Me Too movement, and you really have to, you know, and I'm in HR, so we're the first line of, hey, let's not cross certain lines. Watch how you interact with women. So I've kind of built that up. I think that's why I can just be like, no, I'm not. It won't give you the satisfaction. You won't be confused by me in that sense. So that's another aspect of it.
That's a good trait to have.
Yeah, we'll read some of the comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Definitely got to be both our friends. Convos need to be on speakerphone.
Say that.
See up to Annie. Alex says, not all men. True. Lloyd Phillips.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. How was your day? It was great, Lloyd. We're glad you made it in on the tail end, so we'll make sure we'll see you on the next Thursday. Definitely would love to get your perspective on things. Mr. J. Gilliard said, me, my wife, and my single friend are all in a group chat together, and we kick it in there.
It's lit too, y'all. That's my favorite group chat.
Just Carol say, let go and let God.
All right.
Indeed. All right, yeah. So we're kind of at the end of our of the hour. Yeah. So
I'm gonna say friends with conditions. Friends with boundaries and respect to this union is what I'm gonna say. What you gonna say?
I would say any friendship of the opposite sex, I think it should be a unified friendship. So if they meet if it's a male and he meets the female, maybe at work, then I think it should already be ushered in that I need to meet your husband. And if he approves and me and him are connected, then maybe something can, he needs to understand who I am, where I am, and what my intentions are. And then vice versa on the other side. I think after you get married, if you have opposite sex friends, it should be both of your friends, should be a friend of the couple, not individually. And then if you have friends that are in the past that were there from before, they should try to ingratiate themselves into the relationship. And then they also need to understand that they need to be invited in and there's no way to push in. And it should be by both parties.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I agree with all that.
Yeah. All right. Mika Baldwin says, great show. Thank you, Mika. Y'all, you helped make it that way. Alexis says, not the lit group chat.
Yeah, it'd be so fun in there.
Mr. Lloyd Phillips said no problem. Excellent, man. We definitely want to see you on the next show and get your input and feedback. She said, add me in there. So she said, I'm totally kidding. You say, yeah, Alexis,
We
we
are
lit.
very lit and
We're
very
petty.
petty.
We're petty. No, see, I'm too sensitive for that. I'm gonna stay where I am. But they said, always great job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that. Appreciate
you,
that. So we're at our hour. Everyone, thank you for joining us here on The Perspective. We kind of, at the top of the show, we kind of mentioned there's going to be some changes that's coming up. So we want you to stay excited. We're going to be changing some things. So don't be shocked when you see that. Definitely keep looking for us on the BS3 Network platforms. Go into BS3 Network on all of the platforms, like, share, and also make sure you subscribe so you can get the notifications when the show comes on. And this is Perspective. We know that you may not, your opinion and your point of view may not have been right. It's not necessarily wrong. It's not necessarily good or necessarily bad. We just know all of them are different. So, and those differences brings us all together. So we appreciate it. We'll talk to y'all later. All right.
Bye.